Break free from 3-year device contracts. Switch to T-Mobile and we'll pay off your phone and upgrade you to one of the latest 5G phones free.
Colbert's got John Oliver tonight on CBS.
CBS next Tuesday.
Your son's on the run now. But we gotta figure out why.
Because of you, my life is over.
CBS Tuesday is FBI night.
I need you to take a breath and slow everything way down.
All new episodes next Tuesday on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Winter seems a bit jealous that spring's been crowned America's next top season. I'll tell you about our winter weather advisories and how it could impact your travels. Live from downtown Marquette, it's your 19 News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sarah Blakely. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, leaders from 3 UP counties discuss concerns about a mental and behavioral health provider's finances, while commissioners from Dickinson, Iron, and Menominee counties questioned North Point behavioral health leaders. Plus, Delta County commissioners address recent death threats at tonight's meeting. Details on the Michigan State Police investigation into those emails. And capping the out-of-pocket cost of inhalers. The effort by a group of U.S. senators. Your 19 News starts now.
This is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
Well, Eric, it looks like it actually stopped snowing for now. It was snowing just about a half an hour ago, but how much are we expecting to get out of this system?
Well, it depends where you are, right? So for here in Marquette, we will see maybe a dusting tonight into our day tomorrow. Right now, up there in Houghton, it's looking fairly dry at the moment. I'll show you here where that activity has been if my graphics are going to cooperate tonight. It is quite cold out there. Here we go. So a lot of action here in the central portions of the UP, but this is where we're going to see a lot more of that snowfall and accumulation, basically that eastern portion, especially along the northwest coast. I'll go over those details and winter weather advisories after the break.
Thank you very much, Ariane. Developing now in Dickinson County tonight, a short notice tri-county meeting was held to address concerns about the community mental health provider North Point Behavioral Health. WZMQ's Amy Doyle has the report.
Dickinson, Iron, and Menominee County commissioners, while commending North Point's frontline staff, expressed several concerns. Dickinson County raises issues about violations of the Open Meetings Act, virtual delivery of mental health services, unchecked retention bonuses, and a CEO salary increase without a wage study.
CEO salary was raised by $15,000 to more than $145,000 a year, plus an $8,000 cost of living allowance, without the benefit of a formal wage study.
Non-compliance with state and federal laws were mentioned, with calls for investigations by state agencies. Iron County cited a lack of available care and overuse of its police force.
I mean, I got 15 different notes here from residents that would like to have come to the meeting, but they don't want to be here because they're having such a hard time getting their children into the programs that they felt that it would be negative if they showed their faces.
Menominee County echoed similar concerns, including high employee turnover and instances of stalking and harassment of former employees and potential new board members.
There have been instances of retaliation, intimidation, directed at board members who dared to voice the concerns of the services provided by North Point. Such actions, if true, contravene the very essence of a transparent and constructive oversight environment.
Michigan has some problems with its mental health services as a state. It's not a North Point issue on some of these things. And a lot of the other parts are just misconceptions that have been spread around. And unfortunately, they didn't take advantage to get answers today. We just need to sit down together and talk about these things together, and we'll look at a path forward.
The North Point board chair declined to comment on the allegations of stalking and harassment by North Point representatives. Amy Doyle, WZMQ 19 News, Norway.
The Dickinson County Board will make 2 new appointments at its next meeting. New at 11 tonight, the Delta County Board of Commissioners addressed the public at its first meeting since 3 members received death threats. WZMQ's Escanaba Bureau reporter Lily Simmons has more.
A couple of rocket scientists said that I was inventing this death threat. I was not. I just wanted it to go away.
On March 8th, Commissioners David Moyle, Bob Barron, and Robert Peterson, who each face a recall election in May, say they received the same email stating, "Resign now or you will die next week." In the days since, Peterson and Moyle say they've been more cautious in public.
I've been very careful, especially leaving meetings, but I've been followed after meetings most of the year, so I'm used to watching that. But my head's on a swivel. I'm watching my back.
I'm disgusted by it. My family's nervous. This is not my first death threat either, but you're not going to bully me, so I'm going to stick around.
Detectives from the Michigan State Police Gladstone Post are investigating the threat, and Peterson says he's grateful for their dedication to finding the person who sent the email.
I want to see the person prosecuted for sure. Whether anything comes of it, I have no idea. We're all kind of just sitting back waiting for the next shoe to drop.
At tonight's meeting, Moyle also addressed the growing tension between some members of the public and the board.
There's been a lot of chaos this past year, and I believe it's intended, and I do believe this recall is on political lines.
And he says he is looking forward to a better day.
I would like to encourage anybody who doesn't like my policies to sit down and I'll have coffee with you. You should be able to talk about politics or religion without getting offensive to people. And until we grow up as a country and do that, we're in for a rough road to hoe.
Lily Simmons, WZMQ 19 News, Escanaba.
According to the Michigan State Police, despite some claims, the FBI is not involved in the investigation and no threats of terrorism have been made. A second major producer of inhalers announced yesterday it will cap out-of-pocket costs at $35. AstraZeneca joined Boehringer Ingelheim in pledging to limit patients' costs to $35 effective June 1st. That announcement comes 2 months after a group of 4 U.S. senators launched an investigation into the 4 major producers of inhalers. AJ Bayapur has the report.
So it really shows that transparency, shining that light, can bring costs down.
At a roundtable event Monday, Senator Tammy Baldwin suggests Monday's announcement about AstraZeneca capping out-of-pocket costs for inhalers is connected to an investigation she and 3 other senators launched in January. They're looking into why inhalers cost so much.
Maybe feeling a little heat? Feeling a little pressure?
AstraZeneca and Boehringer Ingelheim have now pledged to cap out-of-pocket inhaler costs at $35 starting June 1st. They are 2 of the 4 biggest inhaler makers.
So it's can be criminal at times when it comes to the cost of these medications.
Tyler Anderzak at Hyatt Pharmacy says it's one of the most common issues he sees.
We definitely encounter patients at least on a weekly basis that have issues with affording their inhalers. A lot of times that will lead to patients rationing their supply.
Anderzak says while he welcomes the manufacturers committing to a lower out-of-pocket cost, one question he has going forward is what will happen with pharmacy benefit managers, or PBMs. They act as the middleman, and right now something he says that happens often is they will steer patients away from the cheaper generic drug and instead steer them toward the more expensive name brand product.
Not have the cheaper inhaler or not have the cheaper inhalers be available to the public.
We reached out to Eric Hovde, the Republican challenging Baldwin for her Senate seat. He said in a statement, quote, "As someone who has lived with multiple sclerosis for the last 30 years, I know personally how out of control prescription drug prices have gotten. The status quo is unacceptable. We need to reduce costs for patients." As for how that should happen, Baldwin says it could help if inhalers become one of the next items whose price Medicare can negotiate. For now, she adds, public pressure seems to be working.
I have to say that the fact that we launched an investigation, and we've seen 2 companies now voluntarily lower the out-of-pocket price for inhalers, that's heartening, but it's not enough.
Your first warning weather forecast is coming up after this break, plus an early start to spring and its possible impact on Michigan farmers' planting season. Why the State Department of Agriculture and Rural Development says it's not concerned at this point. And later, more than 2 years after U.S. troops were pulled out of Afghanistan, former U.S. leaders testify before a House committee on its impact. We're back in 2 minutes.
"19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture.
Sleep better with a new mattress from Kirkish Furniture. We proudly feature Made in the Midwest Restonic mattresses. Try one out today and compare other major brands. Let our sleep specialists help you find the bed of your dreams at Kirkish Furniture.
MeTV decodes the Andy Griffith Show.
It sure was slicker than a firehouse pole the way you took us all in.
That means you were very clever pulling a scheme on us. See if you can decode the Andy Griffith Show.
Weeknights at 8.
John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to get their car fixed. That's because at John's Auto, communication is the key to service. When we have your car, you can expect to be updated on what's going on. And Craig here will explain repairs in terms I even understand, and I'm only 9. For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Marquette.
And don't forget, we're still your #1 source for a pre-owned vehicle in Marquette County.
John's Auto Marquette.
Tonight,
The ball rolled behind the couch. Where is Ball? What happened to Ball?
Colbert's got John Oliver tonight on CBS.
Do you wonder if playing the same Michigan lottery numbers over and over again improves your odds to win? That's actually a myth. You see, every set of numbers always has the same chance of winning because every drawing is random. Previous results have no effect on future drawings. So know the facts. If it stops being a game, call the helpline or visit our website. Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
Who will be there when the final whistle blows or the final votes have been cast? Will you start a career in the broadcasting industry? Be there. Go to BeThereMichigan.com.
WZMQ 19 News First Warning Weather with Ariane Stasek.
If you are traveling anywhere later this evening or in those early morning hours of our Wednesday or even into our Wednesday along Lake Superior, be prepared for gusty blowing snow coming off of the lake there, and those gusts could be 30 to 45 miles an hour. I'll show you where we'll expect most of that, and then reduced visibility as well. The past couple of hours we've had a lot of action in the central locations here in the Upper Peninsula, and we'll see that start to increase along that eastern portion of the UP, along that northwest coastline. We also have freezing spray warning and gale warnings up here on Lake Superior. Gusts up to 40 knots there, and those waves could be up to 16 feet for the east side, west side up to 9 feet. So it's going to be kind of crazy on Lake Superior. And with that, we've also got winter weather advisories, most of this over in the east half here, as we zoom in here for Alger, North Schoolcraft, and Luce counties, 3 to 5 inches. Those winds up to 45 miles an hour, and that activity goes until 2 p.m. in the afternoon on Wednesday. And then winter weather advisories for Mackinac and Chippewa counties. These two portions, that also goes to 2 p.m. on Wednesday, 3 to 5 inches. Everybody's seeing about 35-mile gusts there. And then the far east portion of Chippewa County, 2 to 4 inches of snow possible. So with that and all the gusty winds, we've also got chances of floods along Lake Superior for Alger and Luce counties. That ends at 2 p.m. on Wednesday as well. So lots of craziness happening. And with that, we've got a perfect week for all of this because it's Severe Weather Awareness Week here. Tips to stay alive if there is flooding going on. Make sure you're aware and informed, and definitely go slow. Do not drive through flooded roads. It could be a bad situation. Only 6 inches, so a 6-inch sub could wash away an adult, like if it's very fast-moving water. Tonight will be chilly and windy and snowy, and that's going to continue this week. Very cold temperatures ahead, and then next week, starting basically Sunday evening, we could see a wintry mix start to move in with rain and snow expected on Monday, possibly Tuesday as well. Tonight, again, very cold temperatures. We could even see some single digits as well and into our morning. And then Tuesday evening, that's tonight, look at these gusts along the northwest coast there. Munising and Marquette, keep your eye definitely on Munising here tomorrow around noon, close to 40 miles an hour, about 38 there in the midday. And then eventually we'll get back down into that 20 to 25 gusting range and have a brief break. But we've also got wind chills as well. -5 to 5 for Iron River, and then everybody else a little bit warmer than that, but it is going to definitely feel a lot colder out there. We've got a dusting this evening, and I will have your 7-day outlook in 15.
Thank you very much, Ariane. Of course, this is Severe Weather Awareness Week. The National Weather Service reports almost 1,000 tornadoes each year across the country, but only one annually in the UP. Meteorologist Matt Zika in Negaunee Township says although there's been tornado damage in the Lower Peninsula last month, the climate this far north rarely supports tornadoes. 2020 was the last recorded time the UP saw tornado damage, but it was on the lower end of the intensity scale. The tornado plays statewide taking place tomorrow, maybe statewide, but Zika says it's mainly for those living downstate.
Not going to be a live tornado warning being issued to tell people this is going to happen. If you live downstate where they do have outdoor warning sirens, those will all activate at 1 o'clock tomorrow, but we don't have outdoor warning sirens here across the UP.
You can find more information about that at WZMQ19.com. The lack of precipitation this winter and the early warm season has started to raise concerns from farmers heading into the spring. Our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy spoke with the director of Michigan's Department of Agriculture and Rural Development to learn more about what they're keeping an eye on heading into this year's growing season.
The warmer and drier than average weather over the last few months will give most farmers a head start when it comes to the early season field work, but it could set crops up for a rocky rest of the growing season. Tim Boring, director of Michigan's Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, says that the lack of precipitation isn't a great cause for concern yet, but is something they're keeping an eye on through the season.
The dry conditions we currently have, certainly downstate here, but in the UP, the majority of the Upper Peninsula is in moderate drought right now.
Without the snowmelt from winter accumulation, Boring says the groundwater reserves won't start at the level they'd like. But as long as the spring and summer see average or above rainfall, Boring says crops should be okay.
It's not so much that warm temperatures early on are a problem, it's when they're followed by cool temperatures.
For fruit trees, an early blossom because of warmer weather could be severely impacted by a sudden shift below freezing. And without a significant freeze, there's a higher likelihood of increased pest pressure and crop diseases. Boring explained that with weather patterns becoming more unpredictable, the department has made it a priority to focus on climate resiliency.
We're taking some steps in the department to address these sorts of things, both short-term and long-term.
He says that MDARD and the governor's office are both pushing to further research on regenerative agriculture programs.
Well, these questions around just climate resiliency have been really central here at the department since I've been on the last year. I know it's a priority of the administration as well, of just looking to how we're implementing resiliency across our systems.
Boring says it's still too early to know how heavily these impacts will be felt, but he's optimistic about the season as farmers get ready to plant. From Michigan's capital, Sophia Murphy, WZMQ 19 News.
This year, the Escanaba City Band is celebrating 100 years of performing for the community. According to an archived Daily Press article, the band held its first organizational meeting on March 19, 1924 at Escanaba City Hall. The band's first conductor was Joseph H. Greenfield, a widely known director and music teacher who had just returned from England. The music has continued ever since, with band members ranging in age from 18 to 93.
Be amazing that something like that could be a part of our city for 100 years straight, organized as it is. And just think about all the things that the city has gone through in the last 100 years, and the Escanaba City Band has been there right with it. It's pretty amazing.
At its regular concert on July 24th, the Escanaba City Band will formally celebrate its 100th anniversary, with member and Mayor Mark Amell presenting a proclamation in the band's honor. At the UP State Fairgrounds, local organizations and businesses teamed up to feed veterans and their loved ones this Easter. The Community Foundation of Delta County hosted a drive-through food basket distribution for 150 veterans. Sakeley's Confectionery provided chocolate Easter eggs and food from Feeding America and Aldi. With several entrees, fruits, veggies, bread, and more, there was enough for each veteran to make several meals for the Easter holiday.
Forget about Easter. Easter's a big holiday, and we wanted to make sure that we were able to give an extra time in the year besides our annual Thanksgiving basket. We really appreciate their service, so it's our small way of saying thank you to 150 families.
The Community Foundation of Delta County says this was the largest amount of food volunteers have distributed so far. In Washington news, more than 2 years ago, U.S. troops pulled out of Afghanistan, ending one of our longest wars. The withdrawal drew sharp criticism of President Biden from both sides as the world watched crowds desperately trying to escape and the Taliban quickly taking back control of the country. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp has this report.
and we owe them answers.
The House Foreign Affairs Committee heard from the former commander of U.S. Central Command, General Kenneth McKenzie, and the former Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley. Both McKenzie and Milley have testified previously on this, but this time around, lawmakers hope to get a more candid response from them on our chaotic withdrawal in August of 2021.
The intelligence community and his senior military advisors, including both gentlemen testifying here today, issued dire warnings about the withdrawal's consequences.
Republicans have sharply criticized President Biden on the withdrawal, calling it a major disaster. The Biden administration has been defensive about their decision to pull troops. In the hearing, Democrats blamed former President Donald Trump of poor planning that emboldened the rise of the Taliban.
The Trump administration lacked a comprehensive plan for withdrawing from Afghanistan, despite the May 1st deadline fast approaching.
Last year, Milley called the withdrawal a strategic failure and has had lots of regrets about how the U.S. operations in the country ended. But he also says our presence in Afghanistan helped protect Americans from other attacks from terrorists.
But we could not forge a nation. The enemy occupied Kabul, the overthrow of the government occurred, and the military we supported for 2 decades faded away. That is a strategic failure. But the military also provided hope for 20 years to the Afghan people. We provided unprecedented opportunity to millions. In the final days, we gave 130,000 people their lives and freedom at very high cost.
At the Capitol, Rachel Knapp, WZMQ 19 News.
UP High School sports is up next, and 3 girls teams.
I like Goodwill because they give people barriers to employment work. My job at Goodwill entails mainly just cashiering and answering the phone. I like to greet the customers, of course, I do that a lot. A lot of times I'll greet them by their first name. It's nice to be able to work because I have a disability, and I knew I would have a tough time getting a job maybe outside of here with my limited mobility and that. I would definitely thank Goodwill for all they've done to accommodate me, giving me the opportunity.
Need to get from point A to point B quickly, efficiently, safely? The Marquette County Transit Authority is your ticket to ride. Friendly drivers operate clean, blue and white buses throughout Marquette County 365 days a year. Seniors 60 plus ride free every Wednesday. For information about routes and tickets, click on marktran.com. We keep you moving. Marquette Transit.
This is home, it's where we get along. This is home, and together we're strong. Whoa, this is home. This is home, it's our town, it's our song. This is home, this is where we belong. This is home. Yeah. This is home.
Good evening, everyone. Busy night of girls high school basketball quarterfinal action. We will start in Division 4, where the top team of the UP this season, Ishpeming, was taking on St. Ignace down at Gladstone. And we'll go right to the first quarter action here as you see both benches getting going. For Ishpeming on the inbound, it is Jenna Mackey to Maya Hemmer. She will turn and miss, but Addison Morton gets the putback and a 4-0 lead for the Hematites. After a rebound, Janessa Eagle will take the ball into the front court, pulls up for the jumper, rattles around it in. She had 15, Ishpeming up 6-1. Off the miss at the other end, Avery Visnall finds Cadence Cullen for the first Saints basket. Ishpeming still led 8-3 after 4 minutes. Then Jenna Mackey will drive. Nope. Picks it right back up, gets a nice bounce. She had 20 points. Ishpeming up 20-9 after 1 quarter. We move to the second. Jillian Frazier breaks the Ishpeming press and connects with Addison Cullen for the layup. Addison led St. Ignace with 20. Off a scramble, we'll call that a steal. Sophomore center Maya Hemmer will go coast to coast. A nice lefty layup off the high glass. Ishpeming up 24-11. Back the other way for the Saints, Jillian Frazier, nice drive for the bucket. Ishpeming kept her in check. She's their best player. She only had 7 on the night. 38-21 Ishpeming at the half. Second half now, it is Mackey to Eagle, and she will drive over her smaller defender and put that one in off the window. Saints did not get any closer than 15 points. Ishpeming will head to East Lansing for a semifinal game Thursday with a 65-45 win over St. Ignace.
Really good opportunities to almost, I don't want to say end it early, but we could have put a nice lead up. We just missed some bunnies and stuff, but we're getting steals, we're getting turnovers, and we're getting second chance shots. Even though if we weren't converting on it, as a team, it kind of gets you a little frustrated on the floor, and I thought our girls did a good job trying to get all those second chance opportunities.
Since elementary school, my dad coaching me, we've been talking about this forever. We've always talked about our senior year, how it was going to be special and this was going to happen, and it's happening exactly how we said it would. So, I mean, this is so special. I mean, easily one of the things I've been looking forward to since I was in elementary school. So, yeah, it means so much to me and all these senior girls.
Ishpeming will meet the Fowler Eagles Thursday at 5:30 at the Breslin Center in East Lansing. Fowler defeated Mendon 51-32. Fowler is 24-3 this season. St. Ignace ends the campaign 18-8. Let's take a nice big plane down to Sault Ste. Marie for Division II quarterfinal action between Negaunee and White and Flint Powers. And Ella Mason only had 2 points in the first half. She fills it up there, and Negaunee is still hanging in there quite well. They had a 1-point lead at the half. And then the ball will come down toward the left side. That's Callie Ryla for 3. And Negaunee still trying to build a small lead on the Chargers. Ryla with another 3. No. Aubrey Johnson is there for the putback. And Negaunee will get some offensive rebounds on this next possession. The next thing you know, there's number 4 on the far side. She's open for 3. Bang! Negaunee wins this one 50-45. Miners will face Detroit Edison Friday at 5:30 in East Lansing in a Division II semifinal. Edison ousted the Goodrich Martians 50-33. Yes, I said Martians. The Lake Superior State University Sisler Center was filled with excitement this evening as the Lakers battled the Ferris State Bulldogs in the Sweet 16 in Division II of the NCAA men's basketball tournament in Indianapolis. This is the first time the Lakers have made it to the Sweet 16. They split during the regular season with the home team winning each contest. There were free wings, veggies, and cheese to enhance the experience. One local 84-year-old man had been a fan of the Lakers for decades and enjoyed hanging out with the fans tonight, and I'm sure they all did. To the scoreboard, where Lake State was just short. Ferris State won 86-81. LSSU had 5 players in double figures. Devon Womack, 20 points. Ethan Erickson, 23 for Ferris. Marquette's Veas Grazoulis, 11 points. That Elite 8 will take place in Evansville, Indiana. The Michigan State Spartans battle one of the other MSUs, Mississippi State, in the first round of the NCAA men's basketball tournament on Thursday. Here's Tom Izzo.
We just played in a football game on hardwood, so I'm not, concerned about that. I heard they're very athletic, and like I said, I know very little about them. Probably tomorrow or the next day, whenever we meet again, I'll give you a lot better rundown. But right now, I'm just happy we're in. I'm happy we have an opportunity to keep playing. I'm hoping we can use the experiences we've had to put some things together and see where it takes us.
This game will take place in Charlotte, North Carolina. You can see the game right here on TV 19. Tip-off Thursday, set for 12:15 Eastern Time. And Sarah and Ariane will be right back.
New fun and games are here. I'm Jerry O'Connell inviting you to come and play Pictionary on WZMQ TV 19.
7.5 million children in Ukraine need to find water and shelter. They need a place to sleep and comfort in the dark. Show them the world cares. Support UNICEF, unicefusa.org/action.
There's never been a better time to switch to Spectrum.
Spectrum Internet offers speed and reliability, while advanced Wi-Fi gives you best-in-class security for all your connected devices. And Spectrum Mobile delivers unlimited talk, text, and data with nationwide 5G included. Switch now and get Spectrum Internet for $49.99, plus advanced Wi-Fi and one Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line free for 12 months. Start saving today. Visit Spectrum.com, a Spectrum store, or scan to call now.
Shriners Hospitals for Children is awesome.
Wow, I was a really cute kid. But it's true, Shriners Hospitals for Children is awesome. The first time I went to Shriners Hospitals for Children, I was 2 months old. Since then, they have helped me with over 18 operations and thousands of rehabilitation hours. Because of their care, now I live a full, independent life. I got my driver's license, and I'm going to college.
It's amazing to know that there's someone looking out for me and my family.
And it isn't just the doctors and nurses who have been looking out for me. It was you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So let's keep this amazing story going. All you have to do is go to loveshriners.org, and you'll be a part of something special too. Thank you so much.
Scott Minshaw reports at 6 at 11 on WZMQ 19 News.
Starting to ramp up this evening, especially for that eastern portion where they're under winter weather advisories, mostly until the afternoon, 2 p.m., except for this far east portion of Chippewa County until about 10 a.m. Tomorrow, it is going to be very chilly out there. We've got wind gusts as well, still coming off of the lake. Those temperatures, though, in that 15 to 25 degree range, maybe close to 30. And then it is Severe Weather Awareness Week. Just because we don't always see tornadoes, make sure if it is a tornado watch, you are prepared. Do you have a plan? What are you going to do with that plan? What is the plan? Do your kids know? What are you doing with your pets? Basically, get inside as quickly as possible. Get to the basement if you have one of those, or the hallway. You don't want to be in a very large room where windows can break and things can be blown around. Speaking of blown around, we've got wind gusts here in Marquette, 35 miles an hour for Frosty Treats Day.
Finally tonight, the official sign of spring has arrived in our nation's capital. Cherry blossoms are blooming in Washington, D.C. The iconic pink and white blossoms that transformed the D.C. at the beginning of spring have officially hit their earliest peak bloom recorded in at least 20 years. It's one of the earliest days it's happened in the area on record, and experts say it will likely keep shifting earlier. According to the National Park Service, peak bloom usually happens between the last week of March and the first week of April. The service predicted on its website that peak bloom would occur this year between March 23rd and the 26th, but in an update on Sunday, they said that it has already reached its full bloom. That's on my bucket list. One of these days I want to get out there. I know it kind of seems silly maybe to just I just want to see these trees with flowers on them, but I don't know. There's something really cool and special about that.
There are some that are lined on the Portland, Oregon waterway. Gorgeous.
See, I just want to see it.
All you have to do is go to Traverse City.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Shop hundreds of lazy boys at Kirkish Furniture in Houghton. Kick back in comfort in an industry-leading recliner. Choose from all fabrics, colors, and sizes with prices starting as low as $4.99 plus free delivery. Shop Kirkish Furniture in Houghton today.
Are y'all ready for me to bring out this amazing cast from Girls 5 Ever? We've